Thank you for your interest in our product. I will show you how this smart documentation system is going to benefit you by saving you time and money. We shall start with the most common application, invoicing. Click on Invoicing, and very quickly, I will show you how to create an invoice by selecting a customer from the customer's database. Let us take Lee Enterprises. It tells us the credit limit, the outstanding amount, and you can see that there is a credit overrun, so be careful. Do you still want to do business with this customer? If so, simply click OK. Now you are ready to create your first invoice. All you need to do is click on Stock Code and pick out an item. For example, iPad. Key in the quantity, 10 pieces. The price of $350 will appear automatically. You can apply a discount, say 10%. And 10% of $3,500 is $350. And you will apply the standard rated GST code at 7% to give us a GST amount of $220.50. Now, if you are in the service business, you might want to add text. You can call up a text box and type in whatever text required. You can include as many text boxes as you need. You can even insert a blank line to separate the text box from the items. You can then print an invoice in double quick time. Can you see? It says 10 pieces at $350 with a discount of 10% applied. The net is $3,150. Add 7% GST, and the total amount is $3,370.50. It even shows you the amount in words. You can make crisp and clear documentation that says Apple iPad less discounted 10% and the narration put in. So when this is done, you can save the invoice and we are ready for the next invoice. Accounting is done simply by the click of a mouse. That's all. Now let's take a look at our customer's account. First, we will look at the debtor's aging analysis. Here we have Air Asia, Ake Carpentry Works, Carol King and Challenger. On the next page, we have Lee Enterprises, and you can see our invoice dated 18/03/2013 is now included in the aging analysis. This is done without human work and intervention. Can you see that there is an age bracket for every invoice and the date? The older invoice like these here are under the column more than 120 days. And the newest one is under 1 to 30 days, which is the first column, 31 to 60 days, and so on. You can even print a statement of account. You can go back to the report and select Statement of Account with aging by days. And here we are with our customer statements. Let's take a look at Lee Enterprises. Can you see our invoice for $3,370.50? Add that to the previous outstanding amount of $1,370.50 and you have $4,741. At the bottom, we have the aging that shows this current invoice under 1 to 30 days, and the other invoices are all over 120 days. This is very useful, and you can call up your customers to chase for payment and explain to them that all the other transactions are already over 120 days. It makes it easier for you to collect your payment and improve your cash flow. So let us click on Receipt, which is another Smart document. We shall create a receipt. We receive the money from Lee Enterprises. Let's say Lee Enterprises makes us a payment of $2,000. Under Remarks, we would like to say that this is a partial settlement on account. If they have a specific invoice number being paid for, we can put the invoice number in the remarks. Then we can key in the bank and check number. There are no bank charges, so we save this transaction. Click No for another transaction. Now, with one click, we can post this to our account. All this documentation work can be done by any ordinary clerk. There is no need for a bookkeeper or an accountant. Immediately, your customer account will be updated. Let us look at the statement of account for Lee Enterprises again. You can see that immediately the receipt is registered on the statement of account for $2,000. The balance is now showing $2,741. This will save you a lot of time and hassle. The system will update your business records for you without human intervention. Yes, you can enjoy real-time daily accounting without an accountant. Let us look at your bank account under your cash book. Select OCBC account and let us check our last transaction. Lee Enterprises with $2,000 registered. Can you see? It updates your bank account without human intervention. All you have to do is make use of your Smart Document Generator. Even your GST report is automatically updated for you. Let us key in the date range for 18/03/2013. Click OK, and you can see the two transactions in this GST report. Can you see Lee Enterprises? And also, an earlier transaction for Eben Cafe is all recorded automatically without human intervention. So the Smart Business System will give you real-time daily accounting within the privacy of your own office. Now we have shown you how to do invoicing and how each sales invoice updates to account receivable so that you need not worry about issuing timely statements of accounts. Besides customer's account, it also updates your cash book and your GST account as well. What is more fantastic is under Management Accounts, you will be able to see an instant update of your profit and loss position. As you can see here, your sales, cost of sales, gross profit, and so on. Now you can even see the fixed assets, the current assets, the current liabilities, and so on. This is called the balance sheet. Now, no one will imagine that without a full-time bookkeeper or an accountant, you will be able to have all these reports. But let me assure you that there is no gimmick. We shall show you some live entries so that you can see for yourself what I mean. Take note, under Computer and Accessories, we have $2,000. And under Furniture and Fittings, we have $50,000, making up a total of $52,000 on fixed assets. Take note of this figure. Now let me show you. I shall go into Payment Voucher and create Payment Voucher. Select OCBC Bank. Key in the check number and key in PC for Sales Manager. Naturally, this is under Computers and Accessories. Select it. and key in the invoice number. GST at 7% will be levied. Invoice amount $3,500. Click the supplier code and select the correct supplier. In this example, let us use Challenger Ltd. GST amount will be computed automatically. Click OK, and we are done. We are going to save this transaction. Create another transaction? We shall. Click Yes. Again, key in the check number followed by the date, which is by default the system date. Key in the remarks, in this case, CPF contribution for March. Again, click for CPF contribution. You can search by code under E for all our expenses and select Total CPF. Click OK. And Profit Center code does not usually apply to small companies, so just click Cancel and key in the invoice number. Put NA if it is not applicable, like in this case for CPF. Now, CPF contribution is not subject to tax, so select out of scope. And no GST will be levied. Key in the amount contributed, example $888. Supplier code is not applicable in this case, so simply click OK. The payee will be CPF Board. Click Save. We have created 2 payment vouchers and we can now print these vouchers. You can now see both the payment vouchers we have created. Anyone can be trained to generate smart documents like this. Instead of writing out manual vouchers and waiting for your accountant to come in once a month to update your accounts with payments, you can now generate your payment vouchers yourself. Now we shall click Post, and we will show you what the system does for you. Without further work or human intervention, let us now look at management accounts. The trading profit and loss account. Can you see the total CPF, etc., is now showing $888 in your profit and loss statement? Your new expenses will add up to $25,188. Now let us look at computer and accessories. Originally, it was showing a figure of $2,000. And now it is showing $5,500 because we have purchased computers for the sales manager at $3,500. So there is nothing gimmicky about this. And we can check that the balance sheet is balanced. This will mean that your accounts will be ready to be given for tax submission. All you have to do is a simple tax calculation at year end. Bosses can look forward to real-time management information and daily accounting to be done without human work or intervention. Each time you generate a document, your accounts will be updated. Even your bank account, your customer's account, your GST accounts are all updated. With an ordinary accounting system, collections are not updated. You will have to wait for your accountant to come in at the end of the month to update your collection and update your payment vouchers. In the meantime, directors will not know how much their customers are owing them or how much payment they received from their customers. They cannot generate real-time statement of accounts to customers. They don't even know how much money they have in their bank. And all this is only because they are using an ordinary accounting system that requires human intervention. Now I am going to show you the cash book. Select OCBC Bank Account. Can you see the payment that we have made to Challenger for $3,745? And the CPF contribution of $888 is all inputted automatically? All this is done without human intervention. Your OCBC bank account will show you the balance of $328,693.40. Take note of this figure. Just to show you this is not a gimmick, let us now go to the balance sheet again. Can you see the amount showing on our OCBC bank account? It shows $328,693.40. That is the same figure shown in our bank balance earlier. Now, doesn't that prove to you how much of a miracle this smart documentation system is? It is actually an accounting miracle. Even small enterprises without an accountant can now look forward to daily accounting. Simply use the Smart Document Generator to ensure you have orderly records and you can get management information without any delay or time lags. You can get your accounts receivable updated on a daily basis, and you can have all your statement of accounts at month end without making your admin staff stay back late to rush it out. You can improve your cash flow and reduce the risk of bad debts. Thank you once again for your interest in TradPack's Smart Document Generator. That is not all. The most important and unique feature is the IRA's audit file. With this feature, you can print the purchase listing simply by specifying a period. Here we are, your purchase listing. Every record pertaining to a purchase transaction will be found on this listing. We will capture information such as the date of transaction, the supplier's name, the supplier's UEN number, supplier's invoice number, your permit number if it is being imported from overseas, the product description, the local purchase amount, local GST amount, the tax code, foreign purchase amount, and foreign GST where applicable. These are new listings as prescribed by IRAs. Another listing is the supplies listing. Yes, similar information is captured to show the date of transaction, which customer you supplied to, what is your customer's UEN number, invoice number, and other particulars, which is very much akin to the purchase listing which you saw earlier on. Then there is the general ledger listing, another listing required by IRAs. This listing will also capture information regarding both your supplies and purchases, as well as whatever expenses and capital expenditure that have been incurred. They are all in this master list called the GL listing. All this information is then accumulated into an IRA's audit file in the prescribed format by IRAs, and then you can transfer the tax file to IRAs in compliance with IRA's latest requirements. Now, as we all know, IRAS has been giving grants and incentives, working with IDA to ensure that your expenditure on the IRAS compliant accounting package is subsidized or even fully paid by government funds. There is no excuse to say that you do not have the means to produce the prescribed listings or the IRAS audit file. So are you ready for IRAS compliant accounting?